Jai Hind children, welcome back to biology class. Previous class we have completed the electron transport system. Today we are continuing with that chapter. This respiration is called an amphibolic pathway. Why respiration is called an amphibolic pathway? Because in respiration, when we are observing the respiratory pathway, there we can see anabolism and catabolism. What do you mean by anabolism? Anabolism is the process of formation of a compound is called anabolism, and the breakdown of a compound is called catabolism. So when we are observing the respiratory pathway, there we can see the breakdown of compound as well as the synthesis of compounds. So anabolism and catabolism are present in the respiratory pathway. So this pathway is considered as an amphibolic pathway. Here you can see three types of respiratory substrates. They are fat, carbohydrate and proteins. If carbohydrate is the respiratory substrate, the different types of pathway that occurs in respiration, that is glycolysis and Krebs cycle, that we have studied. So here we can see glycolysis, and next after glycolysis here we can see the Krebs cycle. So if carbohydrate is the respiratory substrate, there we can see glycolysis, and after that Krebs cycle is present. Suppose fat is the respiratory substrate. What happens to fat? First of all, the fat will convert it into fatty acid and glycerol. After that, the fatty acid converted to acetyl coenzyme A, and that acetyl coenzyme A will enter into Krebs cycle. Glycerol, which will convert it to dihydroxyacetone phosphate, and after that it enters to glycolysis and then will enter into Krebs cycle. So that is the respiration that occurs in fat. So when fat is the respiratory substrate, it converted to fatty acid and glycerol. Fatty acid converted to acetyl coenzyme A and then enter into Krebs cycle. Glycerol will convert to dihydroxyacetone phosphate. Then we'll repeat the remaining steps of glycolysis, and next it will enter into Krebs cycle. Suppose proteins are the respiratory substrate, what happens? Or if respiration occurs to protein, what are the different steps? So protein first of all converted to amino acids. Amino acids will converted to pyruvic acid, and pyruvic acid converted to acetyl coenzyme A and will enter into Krebs cycle. How pyruvic acid converted to acetyl coenzyme A, that we have studied, which is an intermediate step between glycolysis and Krebs cycle. So here also we can see the intermediate step, and before that amino acids are converted to pyruvic acids. So this is a type of respiration that occurs to fat and proteins. Here we can see anabolism as well as catabolism. That means the formation of a compound and as well as breakdown of a compound can be seen. So the respiration is called amphibolic pathway. Next topic is respiratory quotient. Respiratory quotient is the ratio of the volume of carbon dioxide evolved to the volume of oxygen consumed in respiration. So RQ value is equal to volume of carbon dioxide evolved through respiration divided by volume of oxygen consumed for respiration. The value of RQ depends upon the type of respiratory substrate. There are different types of respiratory substrates are there. Usually carbohydrates are the respiratory substrate. In addition to carbohydrate, proteins may become the respiratory substrate. Fat may become the respiratory substrate. So based on the respiratory substrate, the value of RQ also will differ. Suppose when carbohydrates are used as the respiratory substrate, what is the value of RQ? The RQ value is equal to 1. And we know the equation of respiration by using carbohydrate. C6H12O6 combines with the 6 molecule of oxygen, that will give rise to 6 molecule of carbon dioxide plus water and energy. So here the amount of carbon dioxide which is evolved is 6, which is divided by the amount of oxygen which is utilized, that is also 6. So the value of RQ is equal to 1. But When fat are used as the respiratory substrate, or suppose fat is involved in respiration, the value of RQs will be less than 1. When proteins are the respiratory substrate, the value of RQ is about 0.9. Chapter respiration is over. Next we are going to study chapter 10, cell cycle and cell division. All organisms, even it is a large one, they begin their life from a single cell, that is zygote. Each cell have the capacity to divide. One cell that will divides into two. These newly formed daughter cells can themselves grow and divide, giving rise to a new cell population that is formed by the growth and division of a single parent cell and its progeny. The main events that can be seen during this process are, first of all, cell growth takes place, then DNA replication occurs, followed by that chromosome also will get divided, and finally the cell is get divided into two. All these processes have to take place in a coordinated way to ensure correct division and formation of progeny cells containing intact genomes. The sequence of events by which a cell duplicates its genome, synthesizes the other constituents of the cell, and eventually divides into two daughter cells is termed as cell cycle. Although cell growth is a continuous process, DNA synthesis occurs only during one specific stage in the cell cycle, that is during S phase. The replicated chromosomes, that is DNA, are then distributed to daughter nuclei by a complex series of events during cell division. The duration of cell cycle can vary from organism to organism. In the case of eukaryotic cell, example human cell, it divides once in about 24 hours. While yeast cell that divide once in about 90 minutes. Next, we can study the cell cycle in detail. The cell cycle is divided into two basic phases. They are interphase and M phase. The M phase may be mitotic phase or meiotic phase depending upon the cell. The normal cell will undergo mitotic division, whereas the gamete forming cells or gamete mother cells undergo meiotic division. First of all, we can study about interphase. Interphase is otherwise called resting phase because it is the time during which the cell is preparing for cell division. Interphase is divided into three further phases. They are G1 phase, S phase and G2 phase. First we are going to study G1 phase or gap 1 phase. G1 phase or first gap phase is the interval between mitosis and initiation of DNA replication, that is S phase. So it is a gap between M phase and S phase. During G1 phase, the cell is metabolically active and continuously grows but does not replicate DNA. During this phase, all other cell organelles will get duplicated. These are the events occurs in G1 phase. Then comes the second phase in interphase, that is S phase. S stands for synthesis. Here the synthesis of DNA occurs. DNA synthesis is otherwise called DNA replication. So DNA replication occurs during the S phase of interphase. During this time, the amount of DNA per cell doubles. If the initial amount of DNA is denoted as 2C, then it increases to 4C. However, there is no increase in the chromosome number. if the cell has diploid or 2n number of chromosomes at G1, even after S phase, the number of chromosomes will be same. But the DNA content should become double. Next comes the third event in interphase, that is G2 phase or gap 2 phase. During the gap 2 phase, proteins are synthesized in the preparation of mitosis, that means cell division, while cell growth will continues. After G2 phase, the cell will enter into M phase. M phase is divided into two phases, cytokinesis and karyokinesis. After M phase, one cell gets divided into two cells, and each cell again enter into next interphase, that is G1 phase. But there are some cells in adult animals do not appear to exhibit division, and many other cells divide only occasionally. Such cells do not enter into G1 phase after completing the M phase. Instead, they will enter into an inactive stage, and that stage is called G0 phase or quiescent stage. This stage may occur in between M phase and G1 phase. During this phase, the cell will be metabolically active but no longer proliferate unless called on to do so, depending on the requirements of the organisms. If the cell is entering into the G0 phase temporarily, that stage is called a quiescent stage. So these are the different phases coming under interphase. Mainly consist of G1 phase, S phase and G2 phase. And sometimes the cell may enter into G0 state also, that can be seen in between M phase and G1 phase. The M phase are of two types, whether the division happens, whether it is occurring on the normal cell, that is mitosis, or on the gamete formation cell, that is meiosis. M phase can be studied by another video.